Froome climbing tutorial. You're here with your guest host Duran Rider, and this is me riding up Little Italy it's called, Burdett's Road in South Australia. I've got Chris Froome, I'm with Ian Stannard and Garen Thomas, and Tim Kerrison is following us in the Subaru Forester, and we're cruising on the Adelaide Hills. And this is good because I got to see these guys eat, got to see how they train, and this is in the off season. This is the off season, and they're still banging out some decent watts. You can see in this is the start of the climb. They're just sort of easing into it, 270, and those guys are heavier than me, so they're pushing out even more power. I am on my bamboo bike, so I never got up to 360, 400 watts, pushing it up. You can see my cadence, Team Sky spec cadence, high cadence. Now a lot of people say I'm wrong about my cadence, about my nutrition, about my bike choice, and it's always good to have Team Sky, the most winningest team on the planet ever at Tour de France, and in recent years, to confirm what I recommend, and that is easy gearing, high cadence, high carbohydrate diet. So you can see here, the power is up now in the 400s, and I've already done a few hours on the bike. I am struggling a bit here. I didn't expect to be going out with these guys. Just sort of bumped into them. Now we're doing close to 500 watts. 500 watt peaks up this climb, and it's 13%. So they're doing an interval. They're doing Tour de France. This is Tour de France level wattages. Tour de France level wattages, and I'm still holding on my bamboo bike. Chris is looking around to see if I was still there, but I'm still here, and I'm on my bamboo bike. I'm doing my best to stay in the saddle, not to shake the camera around. But this is Tour de France level wattages. If you go to the Tour de France riders on Strava. Anyway, let's get into this video. This is going to be a good in-depth discussion. Let's get into it. Okay, so we have whose legs are these? I don't think they're Chris Froome's legs, but they could be. They're lean. And we have Chris Froome's upper body here. We can see that you don't need muscles. You don't need big muscles to be a good, fast rider on the hills, on the time trials. So Chris Froome is the best time trialist on the planet right now. He's the best GC rider on the planet right now. He's the best climber on the planet right now. And no one's matching him. And he's very, very skinny when it comes to the Tour de France. When it comes to his peak event, which is the Tour de France, he drops a lot of weight. He doesn't hold that weight all year long, and that's what a lot of amateurs forget, is they try and hold super light weight all year long, and their performance just suffers. Their hormones suffer. Yeah, everything, it suffers when you're trying to be so lean all the time. So if you look at Chris Froome, his body weight does fluctuate a fair bit. He's about 186 centimeters. I would say in these pictures, he'd probably be pushing the 67.8 kilo sort of weight limits there. But what we're going to do is we're going to see Chris Froome's pedaling technique, and we can see here, I'm just going to move my camera, we can see here that we've got the high cadence, and this is, we're just tapping it out here. This is tapping it out. We're just tapping it out right now. We're probably going to Norton Summit in maybe, just easy pace, maybe 17, 18 minutes. What does that mean for the average person who's never ridden Norton Summit? Not much, but we're doing it pretty fucking easy. We're talking shit about bananas and all sorts of stuff, and these guys know who I am. But it's still, they're pretty down to earth. You wouldn't be getting many soccer players this out down to earth, but I found them pretty quite approachable. And Ian Stannard's got a red Hope hub. Quite interesting. It's got the Hope hubs in there, which I found really. I like the Hope hubs. I rate them better than Chris King. Chris King just get too sloppy too quick. They sound nice, but anyway, I digress. So this whole thing about train low, race high when it comes to carbohydrates. So when you're training, don't eat carbohydrate. Don't eat carbohydrate, just eat fat. Eat coconut oil or bacon when you're training. Wake up, have a fatty breakfast, on the bike, have fat for lunch, go to bed, have fat for dinner. And it's like, because you're not racing. So only eat carbohydrates on the days where you're going to win the Tour de France. And that is just these amateurs out there. And I've never met anyone in my life who actually lives that philosophy, does that diet regime, and it can push out decent watts. Then most of the time they're fat, out of shape noobs on the bikes. And it doesn't make them bad people, but they're just following bad advice, and they're never going to get better if you're following that gimmick bullshit. And I've ridden probably over 1,000 pro riders since 2003 when I started doing TDU. little, bunch riders in the back, just observing the riders. And they like it because I can keep up on the climbs and I can teach them where to go, show them where to go, show them the loops, show them the stages. They love it when I'm there. So it's been great that I've been able to see what goes on. And all these riders are motherfucking cutting the fuck up. They drink Coke, they eat bananas, they're drinking sports drink, they're pouring sugar water in their bottles, they're having jam sandwiches, they're having cakes, they're having pasta dishes, they're having rice, they're having cereal, sugar. They're just carving the fuck up every fucking day. Some riders, though, get these nutritionists out there who have no fucking idea, and they do these calorie restriction programs, and their performance suffers. Look at Carlos Becanter. He did the low-carb thing, and he blew out that year. What was it, 2015? He become a little fatty, little tubs, and his performances are suffering. So Carlos Becanter, really, really genetically gifted rider, but got in the wrong program of diet and had a fucking floundering season, just floundering in some low-carb world and getting dropped. And he had a gut on him. He's like a little fat tubs. So it's, you just have to cut the fuck up. You have to eat like a Kenyan. It's high carb, low fat every day. I mean, the Kenyan marathoners don't do no train low, race high bullshit. They're like, race high, train high every motherfucking day. Live high, man. Live low. That's exactly what it's about. Train low equals live low. I'll say train high, eat high, be high every fucking day, carbohydrates, man. And never deprive yourself of sleep, water, sugar. If you're doing that, you're just reprimanding your body's immune systems. You're going backwards in training. You always want to be carb the fuck up, man, every day. So the train high, so the race sucks. I can't even say it properly because for me it's just such a dumb concept. It's a bit like being dead broke most of the year and then one day you have money. It's like, what the fuck? Like, struggle to pay your bills every single day of the year and then a few times a year pay your bills on time. Like, what the fuck? Like, work for fucking pittance, bust your hump for pittance, and then a couple of times a year get paid what you're worth. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. I just don't understand. It's just, in my opinion, it's another eating disorder. It's another excuse to restrict calories further. Oh, I'm not racing today, so I can't eat much. In my opinion, it's just a fucking eating disorder or disordered eating, either one which you want to call it. But the race high, train low is absolute bullshit. It's been debunked over and over. I'll debunk any motherfucker out there. Just go and try and push 400 watts in ketosis. You can't do that. You can't do that. $50,000 on the table. I'll drop Chris Froome if he's in ketosis. 100%. 100%. I know that because I've done it before with fucking gun riders in races who have just ran out of sugar and just blown up. In marathons as well. I've beaten gun marathoners because they didn't eat enough in a race. And I'm like, how does that work? Some people do diet experiments on race day and they fuck up big time. Don't do anything new on race day. Do it in training so you can see if it's bullshit or you can see if it's shit or legit. So the high carb is just how it is. Every cell in the body runs on sugar, and everybody's got cells that run on sugar. So every diet should be carbohydrate based. And there's nothing to boast about some low carb rubbish. Train low, race high. Like how? Oh, but you're training the body to burn more fat, higher intensities. No. When in the Tour de France did they need to worry about not having enough food on hand? They got team cars following. They got domestiques. They got neutral service giving them Coke and Sprite and sports drink. And they got sponsors to give them gels. Even on the roadside, they got people giving them food. So like, you never have to run out of food in the Tour de France. You don't have to. If any rider has to learn how to go without food, it's probably an Indy Pack rider who gets to a roadhouse and it's shut for another 8 hours and they've got no food. They've got to ride another 200 k's and nothing. Maybe an Indy Pack rider, but still, your immune system's going to be fucked. You're going to get run down, going to get sick, and your red blood cells are going to get fucked up, and your immune system, so your metabolism and your immune system, I just said that though, your metabolism's going to slow down. I just burped, but you want to always be carving the fuck up. Otherwise, your motivation to training is going to drop, man. So show me one real world example of someone who does train low, race high. There's none. There's nothing. There's none of them. And if there's any pros out there doing, let me know because I'll film myself dropping them. Because I'll be doing 400 watts and they'll be doing 250 watts bonking and I'll be dropping them like Uncle Chester dropped all the guys up Norton Summit on the e-bike. You just can't do train low, race high. Do it. Train low means no carbohydrate. Low carbohydrate. It's like 100 grams of carbs a day. It's 400 calories a day. Like training on 400 calories a day when you're burning 4, 5, 10,000 calories in a day. Like your metabolism is going to be fucked as much as your performance is going to be. So it's absolute rubbish. It's been debunked over and over. It's just like the Atkins diet. It's just, I don't know how the fuck these things continue on, but it's just people who want to have a little reason to cut their calories even more. I say just live more, man. Don't cut your calories. Cut carbs, cut life, bro. You know? Carb the fuck up, get it done. If you're cutting your carbs, you're going to cut your watts. If you cut your watts, you're going to cut your ability to go fucking hard and launch it at 400. You need to attack at 800 to 1,000 watts. If you're not attacking at 800 to 1,000 watts, you know, you got to do some more fucking training. So, and you got to carb the fuck up. Attack at 800 watts, 1,000 watts, and then boom, drop down to 400 watts and hold that as long as you can. You know? Serious fucking training. None of this low carb bullshit. If you're doing low carb shit, you're not a fucking real cyclist. You're a muppet. A low carb muppet.